Hey everyone, we are over at Descendants Brewery in Kitchener, and I'm here with Robin joining me now. Tell us about the story behind Descendants Brewery and how it all got started.
Descendants came from my wife and I needing a change in our life. It was a number of years ago. It's 2016 now. 2010 we got married. It was on our honeymoon. We decided, we looked back at what we'd been doing for the last while, and we realized we're just doing the same old after work, come home, sit, watch TV. We need to change our life. So we decided, let's mix it up, let's change it up. And we, through conversations, we ultimately decided that beer was what we were interested in, and starting a brewery in particular. I took a brewing master course, or brewing course, down in Chicago at Siebel Institute.
Okay.
That's the oldest brewing school in North America. And once I decided, yep, it's for me, this is great, we decided to look at a longer course, proper full brewmaster course. And the one we decided on was in a school called, with the acronym VLB. It was out of Berlin in Germany. So that was a fantastic trip for us. We both went there. We really fell in love with that part of the world and the whole adventure that we were on. So when we came back in the end of 2012, we decided we were starting a brewery. So 2013, what was, brainstorming names, deciding on, when we incorporated, working on the application, getting we started off as a contract brewer, so we just needed to get our manufacturer's license. And we did that all through 2013, and then 2014 we launched our first beer, and that was Harbinger. That's our American Pale Ale, our flagship beer. And from there, we started looking for our own premises. And again, I repeat, it's 2016, and we only just opened our own premises. So it took a little bit of time from 2014 to now to actually find our own bricks and mortar home. And I think it was worth the wait. It was a struggle. We kind of didn't know what was going on half the time. I like to say that we didn't know what was going on, but the beer gods kind of knew what was going on. So
Let's go through the three core beers that you guys offer, and sort of what people can expect when they have them. So the Harbinger, that's an American Pale Ale. For people who have never tried that, what can they expect when they try it?
So when I was designing the Harbinger American Pale Ale, I had the idea in mind that I wanted to be able to appeal to both the hophead and the person who doesn't typically taste hops or go for the hoppy beer. So it's definitely a balanced beer in that it has middle of the road IBUs, International Bittering Units, of around 38. It's strongly dry hop, so you get a lot of the hop aroma and hop flavors without it being overwhelming. And then the maltiness, we kept it quite malty, but not overly malty. Kept it in there so that it had a sweetness to go with the bitterness. So it's a very well balanced beer, and I get people who I typically don't imagine drinking hoppy beers liking it, and then of course the hopheads will be satisfied.
Of course.
They probably may want something more, but it'll satisfy them.
So that's your flagship beer. That's the one that you created when you first started the brewery.
Yeah.
But the other two, people may not know much about, or they may be interested in trying. So tell us about those two.
Yep. So the other two are Reynard the Fox. That's a golden rye ale, and El Buscador. That's our Mexican light lager. So the golden rye ale is a lighter ale. It is unfiltered, and it has a good portion of rye malts in the grist load. So from the rye, you get a lot of spicy, peppery notes, just like as if you had some rye bread. And it's 5% alcohol. The IBUs, the bitterness on it's very low. It's around in mid-20s. So not overwhelming in any way. And then you got this nice underlining spicy characteristic, which just goes really well. It's very delicious, refreshing, crisp. Our El Buscador is a light lager. We call it a Mexican style lager just because we want to have fun, and we used hopping in there to give it a slight characteristic that you're not just your regular light lager. It's a all malt lager with just that characteristic that just makes you, I don't know, a flash of being on the beach in Mexico kind of feel.
Well, that is very very unique, and you know what? I thought you were going to say something a little bit. It was going to give it a bit more punch with the hop, but
Yeah.
you know, good characteristic is a nice way to put it. You guys have a kitchen in the back where you serve food. So tell us how that came about.
Yeah. So part of my thinking when it came to opening our brewery was that the market's changing. It's, I guess there's twofold. I thought when the market was changing, so just being a brewery in an industrial park, very deep in an industrial park, just kind of scared me a little bit. I didn't feel that, I just felt that it would be a very big uphill battle to constantly have to be out there fighting for taps. So there was that aspect of the brewery I wanted to add where people would stay and drink our beer and feel comfortable in the environment that we've created. So there was that part of it, and then there's also the aspect of me and my wife are always coming up with ideas of events we want to have, things we want to do. For example, we have a comedy night here. How great is it to have comedy here? Something like that at our brewery. And so we wanted to make sure that the space we created was, hospitable to that sort of stuff. Plus, we always had in our mind that it would be a beer hall. And when we found this location, it really screamed beer hall to us. So we call it our beer hall. We have a beer hall. We have our beers, and we have a limited menu, but not, it's not a small menu. I should say a small menu, but not a limited menu.
So you went to the States and you wanted people to try an American Pale Ale. Now, you said you'd take a course in Germany for brewing. While you were there, did you travel around and did you try sort of some European styles while you were there? And did any of those sort of catch your fancy, or did you feel like those might be a possible avenue to explore?
Yeah, definitely. Part of our concept for Descendants was we wanted to bring these beers that we've tasted all over the place and bring them here to, wherever we were, and develop our own version of them. So in a sense, we were kind of thinking they're kind of descendants of what we've tried in the past. There are versions, so that tied in the name came, and that was a concept that maybe we didn't use those words for, but when we got the name Descendants, it was a real way we were able to, explain what we were up to, I guess, as a brewery. And in Europe, yeah, we had plenty of German style beers. We had, and they have access right there to Belgians, the Belgian beers, and we love them all. And we plan on just for the next, I don't know how many years we'll be here. 50 years, we'll explore them all here at Descendants.